Welcome back to the Roans Podcast. I am the Roan, and this would be a bonus episode. One I don't even know if I'm going to even upload or not. But at the current time, I am sitting in my truck waiting while he is off snowblowing someone's driveway. And I just felt like blabbing a little bit, I guess. Something to do. I am going to be sketching at the same time. I brought my sketchbooks with me and my charcoals, and yeah, I sound all fancy and stuff, but to be honest, I am not that good. But I try. It's an effort. It's a skill I want to get better at. So I figure, even though I'm not the greatest at it, why not keep trying? Maybe at some point I'll get really, really good. But I don't know. So sometimes I'm not sure what to talk about other than maybe this sketch. I'm trying to sketch some vines, particularly just like a vine with another little vine kind of looped around it, and I have like the beginnings of one. Like, it doesn't seem half bad, but I want to make it better, so I am going to try a new one. And as I practice, hopefully I'll get better. And my original plan was I was going to give it to someone as a gift. We'll see. You will see. I started drawing like years ago. When I first started drawing, it was mostly, I kid you not, like stick people. And or oddly, I would draw these weird ant people and it'd be mostly like ant ladies with really long, beautiful dresses. If they were still just vaguely out of being stick figures. But then someone had taught me how to draw faces and how to do body shapes, things like that. So I moved from, stick figures to actual figures. Still not the greatest at all. But I know the basic mechanics of how you should be doing it. I'm just not that skilled at it. My son, however, Bug, he is amazing at drawing. He draws more like intricate, detailed things. Like he drew a knight with armor and chainmail and everything. And man, did it take him like a long time to do it. But you would think with a kid with hyperactive ADHD sitting still, and it is a misconception because yes, you can be hyperactive and be go, 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 go. But once the dopamine hits into something and you get your hyper focus, then you can sit still and you hyper focus on that, and you just, that's everything just clicks and you do it, and that's. He's amazing at his drawings. It just amazes me at what he does. He could probably make some money at it, but I don't know if he'll ever go into that, professionally or anything. But I really think it's not just me as a mom saying that, or maybe it is, but I really don't think it's just me as a mom saying that. I really, really think he does very well. I even ask him for pointers and stuff, and usually he's like, I don't know. Sometimes, if it hits his interest of what he's currently drawing, then yeah, he can give me pointers. But if it's something he's not really ever drawn before, I don't know. And I suppose that's with anybody, if it's, they may have a certain thing that they're into, but it, like you may be really good at cooking, but maybe you're not good at the baking part of it. You're just better at like stovetop stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? And someone says, "Hey, you're really good at cooking. Well, I have this thing about baking I need to know," and you'll be like, "Nope, don't know how to do it." Although I really do think people who cook pretty much know everything about every part of it. I am not a cook, so I don't know. I am not a cook. I wish I did better in cooking, but sometimes I just create recipes in my head and I just do them, and they're really good. But normally I have to follow the directions to a T. I have to have the recipe. I have to do it exactly and just go with the flow type recipe. And I watch videos like that of people doing that. Just like, okay, we're just going to dump this in until it, tastes good. And I'm going to, and until this looks right, until that's definitely someone who's cooked for a really long time and understands, all that. And me, I just look in amazement on that, and just, these people are just amazing how they can do that. That's not me though. So, but I like to try to draw, even though I know I am not good at it. I still like to try, because to me, it's not necessarily about whether it comes out good or not, Well, in a little bit it is. But it's more about the fun of trying. It's the challenge. Like painting. Oh, I love to paint. I am horrible at it, but I love to paint. I love to try to get what I'm thinking, when I'm feeling my emotions and stuff on to the canvas. And I really would like to do better than what I do now. But, and I think with painting, I think the key with painting is it's not that you're trying to be so detailed like you are in drawing. In painting, you can just do an impression. You can be an impressionist, do like so you have like the impression that there's a person standing there, but really not. It's just a glob of paint, but it's in a shape. I don't know how to explain it. Other than that, it doesn't have to be detailed, and I think if I learned how to do that better, that would be really cool. Like, my favorite painter of all time is Vincent van Gogh, or Van Gogh. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. I've heard it several different ways. I've heard Van Gogh for years growing up as a kid, and then when I got into adult, like, I just ran into this probably about 10 years ago. People are starting to say Van Gogh, or Van Gogh, Gogh. And I'm like, that's new. I mean, maybe they figured out that that's really the way they're supposed to say it, or maybe there's a new way of saying it caught on. I don't know. But I really like his paintings, and I just kind of have it's a fascination for his stuff, or not. There was a book that was published that had letters in it that he wrote to people when he was in a psychiatric hospital. And I read a few of them. I haven't got the book, but I've read like snippets of it, and I find it fascinating. Maybe from a mental health and psychological point of view, I'm fascinated by it. One of the things I really enjoyed going through school was the psychology classes and things like that. And I think I mentioned this before. I'm not sure. No, I didn't. When I got my degree in criminal justice with forensics, I wanted to go get a master's in forensic psychology. because I wanted to understand why criminals do what they do. I wanted to understand. I really have a thing with trying to understand the human mind and what motivates people. Maybe it's because as an autistic, I don't really understand a lot of it, but I want to learn it. I want to learn this because, maybe it's because I don't understand. That's why I want to learn. I don't know. But I find it fascinating. It's like a special interest of mine. And I think that's partly why I like Vincent van Gogh so much, is because he was seeking mental help and he was getting it. And a lot of his paintings reflect the state of his mind. And I really am interested in him because of that, I think. And his paintings are just amazing. And Bug, he likes Vincent van Gogh too. And I don't think it's for the same reasons as I do, but he likes his paintings. And I would actually like to get that book with his letters. I would actually like to sit and read it. A lot of his paintings, I guess, were of things that he saw when he sat at his window at the hospital where he was getting help. And he would look out the window and he would just paint these pictures of the scenery, which I find fascinating and amazing. And it really goes to show how art can help people. It can be a comfort. It can help. It can help us express ourselves and our emotions and stuff. And part of the reason why I'm drawing and stuff is because, I'm going through an emotional phase right now. Like I said in my last podcast, I don't know if it's depression or if it's just a portion of sadness, like a time of sadness in my life. It sounds like the exact same thing. And I'm sorry if this sounds confusing, but I don't think that I would be described as being clinically, depressed and stuff and whatever. I think it's just, it's okay. Here it is. It's a situational depression. Okay, because there is a situational depression. There's a psychological depression. There is a chemical, like brain chemical depression, where it's because your brain chemistry is off, it's making you depressed. Situation would be like you're just upset and depressed about something, and that's kind of bothering you and tinging your moods and stuff. That's what I mean by that. So mine is just more of a situational thing. It's just things in my head I'm trying to work out. And I think that's really what it is. Because if I'm not thinking about those things, I'm doing okay. And art is a way for me to express myself and to work out these feelings. Like that song that I added to my podcast last time around here, that was definitely art for me, a way to express myself. Because I really do see depression as standing on the edge of a chasm and it calling you, and it's promising you, if you just slip into that depression, and to me it feels like it's promising you to cover you and to blanket you in darkness and just to keep you safe, and it doesn't keep you safe. It's like Like for me, if I had allowed myself to slip into that depression and just let it cover me, it would have enveloped me in a total darkness, total blackness, and like a siren's call, like a siren calling you and promising you all this, and then when you go to that siren and you get the opposite. And I feel like that's what depression is. And you're standing on that edge, and something deep down in that chasm is calling you, and like to just be overwhelmed by that depression. And I have been overwhelmed by depression before. It was not fun. Deeply massive depressive episode. Messed with my whole entire body to the point where I wasn't even functioning. Cognitive skills were gone almost. My physical capabilities were running amok. Just everything. And they thought I had multiple sclerosis at that point. We already went through this on my podcast. Turned out it was just massive depression from a situation I was in. It wasn't a chemical imbalance, although when they did give me medications for it, it did help. But I think the situation probably triggered the chemical imbalance. It was a very bad situation, and it was... But, I was able to get through it and get out of that. And I fought my way through it. And in that song, I said I grabbed onto a thread and attached it to hope. And I actually had a sermon on this when I was ministering to church, was that the threads of hope. Like you could start with the thread, hold on to it, like one little thread that you have of hope. Could be love, could be just hope itself, could be, anything that you find hope in, and that's your thread. And then as you hold on to that, you braid in more threads to make it stronger, and you hold on to that rope, and you don't give up. And then I had passed out. I had braided some yarn, some white sparkly yarn, into like little tiny little braids, and I passed them out to everybody to keep in their pockets. Like, these are your threads of hope. You hold on to these and remember, there is hope. Don't give up. You can hold on. That type of thing. And that's what that line in the song was about. That I grasped onto a thread of hope and anchored it. And that's what I did to pull myself out of it. My threads hope, my kids, my faith. First off, my faith, and then my kids, my family, and just hope itself. Like, hope itself is a big help. Just knowing that there is such a thing as hope. Knowing that there is always hope. That's what keeps me away from that edge. That's what keeps me away from... And I don't mean by edge by, the end of all things, if you understand what I mean. What I mean is edge by slipping into the arms of depression. Because if you slip into the arms of depression, it's to me, I view it as darkness. A lying darkness is lying to you and telling you that everything is horrible, everything is bad, and you'll never escape it. And I feel like it's very, it's very, I don't know how to say this. It's very, I can't think of the right words, because every word that comes to mind just seems so wrong. I want to say it's very attractive, but it's not. If you understand what I mean, it's very seductive, maybe is the word. Maybe not, that's not even the word. It's like overpowering, overwhelming, like, come to me, everything will be fine. Just your depression, I can't explain it. It's like that darkness is like you can hide in it. You can hide in your depression. You can hide in it, right? And it's kind of telling you to be okay. But once you get into that darkness, into the arms of that depression, then all you hear is lies and negativity, and all you hear is you'll never escape from it. And some people feel like it has to be the end of all things in order to escape from it. And my whole point is it's not. You have hope. It's even if it's like one little shaft of light, one little glimmer, even if it's the smallest little hope that you can find, like someone smiled at you that day, that is hope right there. Someone, you see a flower as you're walking down the street, that is hope. You hear a bird sing, that is hope. It is something small, but it is there, and that is what you can grab onto, because that one little thing, you can build on that one little thing. And I think it's important for people to know that. And if you can't find that hope, find somebody who can help you find that hope. If you don't have loved ones or friends you can go to, there are plenty of organizations and people who are there to help. And I know it may be hard to go to somebody, a complete stranger, and ask for help. Oh man, I know it's hard, but it's worth it, because you matter. And never forget that. Never forget your worth. Never forget that you matter. Just go for that hope. Go for that help. And if you have family or friends, go to them. Tell them. Don't lose hope. Don't. Because you matter. You really do. And I'll tell you what, if you have no one else or nothing else, reach out to me. And I'll do my best to help. But thank you. I see he's coming back with his flower. So I've run out of time. But thank you for being here. And remember, you matter and you are important to many people around you that you might not even know. And you matter to God. I know not all of you are religious, but whether you are or not, I just want to let you know that you are loved. Always. Thank you so much for being here. More later. Bye.